The work on the formation pathway started happening back in 2017, 2018, when the then Regnum Christi Territorial Committee had asked the Regnum Christi Spirituality Center to work on discovering the essential elements that helped Regnum Christi lay members live out the formation side of their life and their vocation in Regnum Christi. So they worked hard at establishing what they coined as the formation pathway for the Regnum Christi lay members. And Father John Bartunek wrote an essay that really dove deep into integral formation for the Regnum Christi lay members. This time frame, though, was right in the middle of our formal renewal process, where the church was continuing to guide us as we purified and articulated our charism and our identity, and how all the different vocations in Regnum Christi interrelated. So in 2019, the Holy See officially approved the Regnum Christi Federation, which means it approved the statutes of the Regnum Christi Federation, and also from there, the rule of life of the associated lay members. So the work needed to be done to take all of that good work of the 2017, 2018 work on the formation pathway and refresh it in light of the renewal. It almost was, for me, kind of like taking a camera and putting the lens a little bit more in focus because of what the Holy Spirit had inspired and helped us to articulate in the statutes and the rule of life, and to be able to look at then, what does this look like for the lay member of Regnum Christi? What has developed from that and from the work that's been happening internationally, an essay came out on the formation of the lay apostle of the kingdom that kind of outlines the guidelines for formation for lay members in Regnum Christi. We've been working on developing and refreshing what we call a framework for the Regnum Christi lay apostle. This framework, as any framework, which is kind of like a structure, a framing of content, ideas, we use it here in the context of creating an outline of the Regnum Christi lay apostle's identity and the process of formation and journey of formation to be able to fully live out that vocation. So the framework consists of two main parts. First, it has the part that defines and outlines a portrait of the Regnum Christi lay apostle, and then the process or journey of how to get there in a formative plan. Catholic understanding of formation is actually configuration with Jesus. It's a lifelong process, a lifelong journey of being configured to Christ himself. Lay members of Regnum Christi are living out their baptismal call according to a charism. So that configuration with Christ is going to be particularly through the lens of the mystery of Christ that the charism entrusts us with, which is Christ, the apostle of the kingdom. Since the formation pathway is a lifelong journey, we need to also translate that into specific objectives, means of that growth, and that is what is meant by a formative plan. So we have both the formation pathway, which is the overall context of this configuration with Christ the apostle, and then it needs to translate into a plan that I can use personally, that we can use in our Regnum Christi teams, that we can use in our Regnum Christi sections, and from a territorial level, even kind of give guidelines for how do we build those plans to be able to help the lay members live fully their vocation as Regnum Christi lay apostles. We might not be so accustomed to referring to Christ himself as the apostle, but apostle literally means, from the Greek classical word, the one who is sent. And Jesus himself refers to himself as this: as the Father sends me, so I send you, as he says in John 20:21. Christ is literally the one who is sent on behalf of the Father to establish his kingdom and bring everyone back into communion with him. So when we refer to configuration with Christ the apostle, we're looking at it from this lens of this aspect of his mystery. Why do we call the Regnum Christi lay member a Regnum Christi lay apostle? Simply because we want to emphasize this aspect of the vocation to Regnum Christi, which is this missionary dynamism, this being sent, just like Christ is being sent on behalf of the Father, so we are sent. And there is this apostolic nature to Regnum Christi, to the vocation in Regnum Christi, that we want to just underline and highlight by referring to the Regnum Christi lay member as a Regnum Christi lay apostle.